Dr. Lisa Larsen is dedicated to helping adults and adolescents navigate devastating losses and traumatic experiences. Her goal is to empower clients to feel comfortable in their own skin and improve their relationships with loved ones. She employs a wide variety of techniques, working with traditional and non-traditional couples. Her extensive work with LGBTQ plus clients has enriched her practice. She offers virtual therapy services. Congratulations, first of all, for having your article recently published in Authority magazine titled Five Effective Strategies for Mental Well-Being. And thank you so much for joining me here. What personal experiences led you to become interested in helping others deal with anxiety?
Well, I've experienced it myself, and I wanted to find a way to help people, especially people in kind of underserved populations, to feel more at ease because the world can be a very scary place, and I know that myself, and also the things that we tell ourselves about the world can be scary, even if something bad isn't happening. So after I kind of figured that out for myself through therapy and just living life, I wanted to share that with other people too.
What we tell ourselves is so vitally important, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Emo-
Definitely.
Emotional intelligence is considered an asset, yet you mentioned that being an emotionally sensitive person has some challenges. Would you describe those challenges for us?
Sure, sure. I think when you are kind of open to all these things that are happening around you and you feel compassion for other people and you kind of feel empathy for people who are suffering, it if you let it overwhelm you and you don't have enough objectivity, then it can be kind of overwhelming. And so I think it's important for us as sensitive people to take care of ourselves first and foremost so we can be there for other people and learn how to use our compassion in a way that is effective and that uplifts both ourselves and the people we're trying to help.
You know, when I was younger, I remember if I watched a sad movie, it would hang on to my emotions for days. And I had to learn how to set a boundary between what was real and what wasn't real, or what was mine to carry and what wasn't mine. Is that somewhat what you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah. So there's the boundary, and there's also compassion for ourselves and appreciation that we can feel bad for someone else, even if it's a story. Because stories are usually based on something that happened to the creator of the story. So there, a really good movie or book transports you into that person's world. And even if it didn't really happen, it's happening for you at an emotional level.
Well, being emotionally sensitive or intuitive has turned out to be a real asset for me, but I had to learn to manage it.
Yes.
You said that your original family was not very supportive of you. How have you dealt with that?
Well, I know I'm a therapist, so I'm biased towards therapy. So I've done therapy, I've done meditation, I've done kind of self-improvement and you know, I don't know what you want to call it, but self-development
Yeah.
workshops. One thing that was really helpful was a program in mindful self-compassion. That was really helpful, and I use those tools a lot because I mean, one of the problems with anxiety is that we don't remember how resourceful we are, and we don't often we're trying to banish the bad thoughts but we're not taking care of that scared part of ourselves. So doing something to attend to that, I think, is important before you work on it cognitively. You have to also work on the emotional level.
That's a lesson I've I've I keep practicing. It's not always easy for me.
Yeah.
But you, like me, love stories in which a small but courageous person overcomes their fears to do something significant. I love inspiring stories. They inspire me. What's one of your favorite stories?
Well, I think as I mentioned in the article, I love the Ramayana, which is an Indian classic spiritual tale, and it's about Ram who gets banished, and I don't know how much you want me to go into it, but basically, he enlists the help of other creatures, and he is able to overcome this really greedy, kind of lascivious, awful king who has captured his wife and go back to his kingdom and reclaim his rightful place. And I really like that, especially the monkey god in that story doesn't even realize how powerful he is, but he can leap over an entire ocean and he can take a mountain out of the earth and transport it. So that's and I
Sounds
know
like
it's
a mega
yeah.
story.
Yeah. And so Hanuman inspires me to kind of go, well, what resources can I bring to this difficult situation?
I find it's important for me to remember what I have overcome in the past and that those resources are still present in me.
Yes.
One of your key lessons in life has been to accept that you can't predict the future. How does that acceptance influence your choices or your mental state?
Well, it certainly came in handy on on Tuesday. You something happens, it's not to your liking maybe, and you have to kind of go, well, I don't know exactly what will happen. I have an idea, I have a story of what will happen based on my previous experience, but I don't know. And so I I have to kind of trust that whatever does happen, I can make do with it. I can take what I have and be resourceful. If I just get stuck in, oh no, this is going to happen and that's going to happen, then I'm living that horrible reality without it even happening yet.
Yes.
And I have to step back and realize that.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. The ups and downs of your health has been a challenge for you. You mentioned several times in the article. How did you manage the uncertainty of feeling well sometimes and not feeling well other times?
Yeah, that's an ongoing challenge. But on a good day, I'm able to remember that things are always changing. And that can be good and bad, as you mentioned. And so when I'm not feeling well, I try to again have compassion for myself and I try to kind of think about like, well, how can this be used to my advantage? Because I think it's made me more compassionate to other people and to myself. It
Yeah.
takes some work to get there, but it if I can use it to my betterment, then it wasn't a wasted experience.
I love that statement. That's very, very wise of you. I
Yeah.
also love that you stated, don't believe everything you think. How do you choose what thoughts to believe and which ones to discard? You've touched on that a little bit already.
Yeah. So I guess I go by feeling, right? So if I'm thinking, oh no, this is going to happen, and oh, and then that's going to happen, etc., and I feel dread and I feel that pit in my stomach, then I know I'm on a bad track. And if you believe that those thoughts kind of create more of the same, which I'm still playing around with, then you're not helping yourself. I'm not helping myself. So if I can go, okay, well, what do I appreciate? What is good about my life right now? what am I capable of doing about this thing that I'm worried about happening, and focus on that, then I feel more empowered and I don't feel like a victim of circumstances.
I think we're all really good at fiction writing, you know,
Hmm.
the stories that are fictional and then we worry about them. And gratitude, I found, is an antidote to nearly any negative thing. How can the viewers of this interview reach you?
Well, eh, my email is one good way, Dr. Lisa S. Larsen at lisaslarsen.com. You can reach me by phone at 661-233-6771. I'm only licensed to work clinically with people in uh, California, but I have a trauma program and guided meditations that anyone can download. So those are, I mean, if you're in Paris or Zimbabwe, you can have those, you know. Um, so yeah, that's how people can reach me.
And your website is Lisa S. Larsen. Larsen is spelled with an EN.com. And I checked out your website, and you do have quite a variety of resources that could be available to everyone. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that, Lisa, and thank you so much for visiting with me this morning. I hope your day goes on to be a really good day for you.
And you as well. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Nancy.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
I need to